Hi all, Bones here from AusBSA Bantams again, and getting a bit more work done on the Jawa. So what we're going to get up to now is, I've got a chain, we'll fit the chain up, get our clutch mechanism on, get our clutch cable in, set our timing, and then that way we can put this engine cover on. So we'll get stuck into it. So I've got our chain, and so what I'll do now, leave that clutch push right in. What I'll do now is I'll fit it up and see how many links I've got to take out of it, because I've got it a bit longer than I needed, because I wasn't 100% sure about what length I needed, because I've actually changed the diameter of the rear sprocket, because this was like an ag bike. It had a larger rear sprocket on it. So we'll see how we end up. All right, we've got it measured up. Time to go and get the chain breaker out now. Here we go. Now obviously this is all the way forward, like the travel on the front axle. I can't get this wheel any further forward, so that gives us all our adjustment. Our joining link in. I'll see how it adjusts up. It looks pretty loose. I might need to put a half link in it. That's not gonna... Yeah, I'll see how it adjusts up. I think I'll wait and see, but I might have to put a half link in it. Now the other thing is these Jawas, they actually have a chain guard on them, so keeps all the muck and everything off them. So, chain's on. So pretty happy. So now we'll go up this end and start getting all the kit on there, all the clutch mechanism, get the clutch cable in, and we'll keep progressing. So I've got problems. So what's actually happened is when I got the wheel on and tightened up the axle, it's binding up on the wheel. So my suspicions are that the spacer in between the two bearings has at some stage worn a bit and is a bit short. Now the other telltale for that is once I tightened it up as well, part of the brake hub was just rubbing a little bit, so it may mean I machine up a new spacer in here to space everything out. Great thing about Jawas, QD hubs. So we'll get one of these bearings out and we'll have a look and see what we're up against. So I don't know whether you can pick it up, but there is a slightest burr there that I should have picked up before I installed it. But there's a lip there, and it looks like the previous bearing has been running on this surface here, and this one's not much better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another one of these about 1 millimetre longer, and we'll see how we go. So another thing in this video is don't go trying to adjust your volume. So if you hear a bit of static in that, it's actually rain on the roof. It's fairly coming down today, so good time to be in the shed. So don't adjust anything. If it sounds a bit staticky, it'll just be the rain on the roof. Alright, so we've got some bar stock cut off in the lathe. I will face it to length, center drill and drill it, and we'll see how we go. And I'll change these out for proper safety glasses, not my reading glasses. Alright, so I don't know whether you can pick up here a bit better in the light, but there's a burr right on that edge there. And that leads me to believe that they had a bearing issue and this is spun and actually reduced in length. So there's the one we've machined up. As you can see, about 1 millimetre longer. I think that'll be enough. Well, I'm about to find out, aren't I? So that fixed it. Very happy. What I'm going to do now is I forgot to oil up the brake cable when I fitted it up. I just fitted it up to make sure everything would fit. So I'm going to take my brake cable out, give that a good oiling and then refit it. But yeah, pretty happy. Rightio, we've got our clutch mechanism back on now. And if you've never worked on a Jawa before, this cam setup here, actually I'll bring it in a bit closer. Alright, so this cam setup here, this is your actual gear change shaft. And you'll see this little roller and arm here. When you go for the gear change, and this moves up and down, that roller runs up on these cams and that actually engages your clutch. So you can actually do clutch changes without the hand lever because your gear change pedal actually actuates your clutch when you're changing gears, which I think is pretty smart. And we'll see how it works when we get it running. So I've got all our cable hooked up and you can see how that little lever comes back when you operate the clutch lever on the handlebars. If I pull that back you can see that profile, so when that gear change changes it actually pushes this across and activates your clutch. Very good, very happy. So what I'm doing, I've got a dial indicator set up and I am checking for top dead center. Which is right there. So I'm going to set my timing at 2.2 mil before top dead center. One, 2.2. So that's how easy you do it. That's how easy you do it with the dial indicator, and it's really accurate too. Obviously, probably the most accurate other than the timing wheel, which I can't get on at the moment anyway, because I can't get access to the crank. So yeah, we'll get this rotor on and we can get this other engine cover on the off side of the bike. Alright, so I've got my brake switch mounted up. We're getting into the wiring. I've also got the reg rectifiers have come in, so I've got the reg rectifier mounted up there, so now we can continue on with our wiring and get it all the way up to the headlight. So I've just done a continuity test on this, so that's working well. I do have a clutch issue, but I was talking to a mate yesterday who's got Jawas and I think I can resolve that one reasonably easily. So, but we'll go around and we'll have a look at that in a little while, but I'll keep going with the wiring. What I've got now is my multimeter on continuity again. And what I'm checking for is I've got to put a handlebar mounted horn switch up here, and it's also the high-low beam switch, but it uses an earth through the frame to complete the circuit, and I hate that. I run earth wires the length of the bike, but this one I can't get away from. So I've got this green wire here is the earth from the CDI unit. So I've got a good earth. I've got a good earth through the bike. Doesn't mean I'm going to use it though. I'll only be using it just for the horn. Sorry, we'll get it in. So we have our switch all wired up. There's a cover there. I'll just take over to the bike. So it mounts up here. So we've got to thread the wires down through the handlebars, and they'll come out here and go into your headlight cluster and with your switch on top of your headlight. Rightio, so I've got the switch on up here, my wires through, so multimeter on continuity again without dropping them on my paintwork, and we will start checking to make sure that the switch works. Rightio. That's working. And now continuity between, well, this is going to be a bit more challenging. Need another pair of hands. Okay. We haven't got an earth. Better go and have a look at the switch again. That's the way it goes. So I've hit a bit of a stumbling block. So the bulb holder that I need for this is totally different to the original one I had. So I haven't got one. So I have to order one. So there's a few other little bits and bobs I'll put an order in. But basically for the wiring, I think that's about it. So I'll go on to some other stuff. But that'll about do for this video. We're making good headway again. I hope everyone had a Merry Christmas. Thanks once again to all my subscribers. The tally is just about to roll over about 700, which is fantastic, and I really appreciate all your support. So from me at AusBSA Bantams working on a Jawa, I'll see you later.